where
This is Dad vs. Dad podcast.
where we talk about our petty issues and you decide if they're a mountain or a molehill.
Yes. That is our favourite
And you do that by...
segment.
You do that... Oh, yeah, we don't only do that now. We've been bringing in other things. Speaking of, I've got a giant nightmare of a mountain of a news. Okay. Now, who the hell do you think you are... Hang on, I'll open the thing. There's a link. Okay, so who the hell do you think you are, Mrs. Azalea Banks?
Azalea?
Azalea, yeah. So, who the hell do you think you are ripping on the Australian music industry? So, this lady turns around and basically says... The Australian music industry is a joke and there's no good Australian artists. And that she'll never ever come to our country again. Now, for one, I don't know who she is, so I don't care that much.
Yeah.
But her ripping on Australian music for her own genre. So I think one of her complaints was that she brought out this song and for Australia, we put it into an EDM type of mix, but she wanted it to be labeled under hip-hop. So she got really upset, and so because hip-hop's the big it thing in the States, EDM's nothing in the States.
Yeah, well, if she doesn't know what kind of music she's making, she doesn't understand what she's doing, that's a
bit of an idiot
problem.
Yeah, basically. And I got really, like, okay... You're ripping on Australia saying there's no good music industry. Like, rock in Australia is pretty great. The punk and hardcore scene is amazing. The metal is huge.
Yeah, we don't have many pop artists at the moment.
Yeah, but then I was thinking, hang on a minute, we got, like, nothing. I mean, hip-hop, Hilltop Hoods, when were they last relevant? When did you last hear a Hilltop Hoods song?
Yeah.
I know there's like a rapper called Complete from WA, which is, yeah, okay.
Sure, he's
there's
massive.
Cursor. Yeah. But then I thought, okay, Kid Laroi. Kid Laroi was one of those newer ones that came out. I think he did a song with Bieber.
Was 5 Seconds of Summer Australian?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, but how old are they now?
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, there's a bunch of artists that come out and they, do all of that and pop and whatever, but it's just, she has a point. Rap isn't huge, except Kid Laroi, who was managed by his mum and then came across, like...
Yeah, but that's like one guy. They've got 1,000 guys in America.
I know. But demographic size... So, I was really, really offended, and then I was like, actually, nah, I don't care.
Yeah, we don't have a pop music scene right now.
We don't, and we could start a... You don't even sing over Twinkle Twinkle.
I'm just going to be a dancer. No, I sing if I have enough beers in me, so we're just...
You just stand in the backyard and scream corn.
Yeah.
I don't want to do. Well, I don't know. I think I'd be a great boy band, actually.
Yeah, me too.
I started writing this song. Actually, I wrote it a while ago, but the lyrics are all about how I'm a dad, but I don't necessarily do dad things. But I almost like I'm a man-child, but when am I meant to grow up?
Right.
How am I meant to grow up?
Yeah.
So it has lines like, should I do runs to the tip? Or should I fix the car?
Yeah.
Or clean up the yard? You know, dad stuff.
Yeah.
All the dad stuff that my dad did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. But instead I sing about watching Dragon Ball Z with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I wrote a song too.
I don't know what. Oh, did you?
Just the lyrics so far. It's gonna have weird timing
Oh.
because it is a haiku song.
Oh, fuck.
So I think it's got to be like 7/4 timing and just kind of have a break at this. You know, it's got to.
You know, music can be 7/4.
Yeah.
You can have odd time signatures, but you don't have to copy that with the vocals.
Maybe.
You can do haiku not in haiku form. Well,
Yeah,
you do haiku form, but not in the pattern.
Maybe it would be
so
good.
the music runs the show.
Maybe it'd be good to have the music in a haiku pattern.
Well, then it's a haiku in music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never done a music haiku. I think that's dumb.
Me too. That's the point.
Sorry, I've got a camera fix.
Oh yeah, so
We're remote again.
There's a writer's strike at the moment, which is so dumb. I remember they did
writer's
that,
strike?
Yeah, they did one of those a few years ago. It's where like all the Hollywood writers go on strike together. Like, we're not gonna write your shows anymore. It's like, when did you write anything good? Like, how long's it been? Like, there's maybe.
What? Yeah, why? Because
But now,
Hollywood is one of those really weird places where people whinge about how they're doing all the work and getting paid nothing. But
they had that strike a while ago, and then they were plenty happy. I don't know why they striked again. And Seth
but
MacFarlane
this has been going
quit.
since.
Seth MacFarlane.
Huh?
Seth MacFarlane quit Family Guy until the writers have worked out their thing. So he's kind of joining on a strike. It's like, is Family Guy even still running? Who cares about Family Guy anymore?
I don't know.
ChatGPT
I don't know anyone
could write
who's
a
excited
Family Guy
about it.
episode.
Hey?
ChatGPT could easily write a Family Guy episode.
Oh, they could.
Easy.
But he does all the voices as well.
Ah, yeah, who cares? I've seen people who do his voices. And they do just as good a job.
But so it really depends. If he owns Family Guy, then he can't.
No, if he quit,
It's like-
if he quit, then I guess someone else's.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he could do Family Guy without Seth.
I don't think he'd want
But
to.
also, I kind of hate Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, me too.
I just feel like I hate him.
Yeah, he had like a few very funny jokes, and then he's just like, whatever. Very boring guy.
Well, just forever the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
YouTube descriptions, every time we mention someone big, like Seth MacFarlane, we have to put it in the description.
We should.
Yeah, it helps. Our one where
Oh,
we
it
put
does.
Andrew Tate in there, that one got
Yeah.
heaps of views because it just had the word Andrew Tate in it.
Man. So Opie
Yeah.
got compared to Andrew Tate in class the other day. Him and his friends.
That makes sense. He's a misogynist.
Well, okay. All he did was there was a girl speaking in the class,
Yeah.
and as kids do, he spoke like all the group were talking. Because the girl was talking and the boys were talking in the corner, the teacher's like, "That is so disrespectful, there's a person over here talking." He didn't say it that way. He said, "That is so disrespectful, there's a female talking. You guys are just like Andrew Tate." Okay.
So if it was a guy up there, it wouldn't have mattered. They could talk as much as they
Well,
want.
No, it was just the worst, dumbest thing to say to a bunch
So
of
the
kids,
teacher said
considering a teacher
That's
said
so
that.
dumb. God, teachers are the worst.
It is. I'm like, okay, this guy has just been convicted, or was he accused, or did it actually go through?
No, he's out of jail now anyway.
Either way, allegations of sexual misconduct. What was it? I don't even know. But the fact is, you can't call a child Andrew Tate
Yeah. Well, and I think
as a defense
a lot of...
for your asshole shit
Was it a
teaching.
female teacher?
No, it was a male.
Because a lot of teachers, they are like scared of the Andrew Tate thing now. It's like this big boogeyman. Like they're worried their kids are going to find out about him, watch all this stuff, and then like become teacher and female haters.
Well, I went onto the Australian teachers page on Reddit, and there were teachers being like, the kids in my class are worshipping Andrew Tate, and it freaks me out.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah. And then that's where I got interested and looked him up. But then they also had the same thing where they're like, I don't know how to get the kids to stop going, hiya.
What's that?
Have you heard that noise?
Hiya.
Hiya.
Yeah.
Can I get a hiya? And they do it.
Why?
I don't know. It's a thing that went online.
Okay.
And kids were obsessed with it. And even my boys were doing it until I was like, guys, you can't do that anymore. I'm like,
why?
and they just kept doing it. I'm like, because it represents a female sex noise. And that, ew.
Does it?
Yeah, that's what it comes from.
Yeah, that's lame.
Yeah, super lame. But kids in school are thinking, oh, that's hilarious, I'm going to do that. And then that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, kids are dumb.
They are dumb.
Fun thing about Andrew Tate basically knock off Dick Masterson, who just like took it more seriously.
Do you reckon he's a fan?
He's spoken to him.
He'd have to.
Before he blew up, he went on Dick's show. Before he was real huge, yeah.
Was he a douchebag then?
Yeah, he was a douchebag then. But like, it's kind of like, because Dick has this funny kind of thing about it. It's all a fun joke and all this, and he's like doing the same shtick, but like trying to make it a bit serious and like, we really have to hate women together.
No, but yeah, he is, and he's. You know those guys who get a laugh in, and then they're like, "Oh, I got a laugh. I'm gonna stick with that same joke, and I'm gonna push it and make it like because I got a laugh. It's still funny. It's still funny." So they keep doing the same shit.
Yeah.
That's not funny after the first time.
Yeah.
So I watched Andrew Tate on the podcast with Tom Segura and his wife Christine, and he makes this joke. Tom Segura laughs, and then all of a sudden he keeps making that same joke over and over, like, haha, I got a laugh. That's sick. That's funny. That's great. It gets really. He's a cringy dude.
Murray, whatever his surname, I don't know, Murray Wiggle. He was on some show one time. Wish you were here. There's this show where they enter into like a scene of a show. They don't have any lines, and they have to.
Thank God you're here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Not we.
Yeah.
Thank God you're here.
Yep.
And he made this joke in one of the first bits, and it got a huge laugh, and then he just kept saying it throughout the rest of the entire show. Like, okay, man.
Yeah. The callback's good when you get it once.
Well, a callback isn't repeating a joke over and over again. It's like
No.
referencing a joke. It's not pulling the same line. It's not. It's kind of remember that funny thing I said. That relates to this situation. Like,
yep.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at improv, so here's that joke again. Yeah. Okay. Do you have a news?
Yeah, the writer's strike one.
Okay, well, I've got another news.
Okay.
So, man who's been on sick leave for 15 years sues IBM for not giving him a pay rise.
How do you be on sick leave for that long? You could just drop someone before then.
I don't know. I think it was like this. So they had this rule within their terms and conditions where you can be on sick leave for this long because it keeps the employment, but you don't, but you're technically not working. I don't know. It was this whole thing. Anyway, he complains because he's going, everyone else who's working gets this payment where this pay increase. So like, you know how if you work every year you get a pay increase and it's like the percentage, whatever. So he wasn't getting that. He was complaining that it was disability discrimination. And even on his LinkedIn page, the guy has himself as medically retired.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything about this guy is basically saying, I don't work.
Yeah.
I'm not working. I'm doing nothing.
He's an absolute shitbag.
I'm still... Yeah. Anyway, the deal was he actually lost the case.
Well.
He lost.
Good.
Thank God.
Good,
yeah. So, because he was medically retired, the disability discrimination isn't about discrimination because he's entitled to it, whereas the normal workers aren't, but he's just complaining because he doesn't think the terms of that disability thing isn't good enough for him.
Yeah.
So basically 15 years he hasn't had a pay rise and now he's whinging and...
Because he surely wouldn't have had... Like, he wouldn't have been... That'd be sick leave without pay. He couldn't have been getting paid for all that, surely.
He was paid.
That's amazing.
He was paid.
He's got to get a job at IBM.
Yeah.
You'd be sick forever. Why would you go to work if you get sick leave forever?
I don't know. Well, I'd say it was something to do with, like, an actual thing that caused him to not be able to work.
Yeah, man.
Like, it wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm sick. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh,
So,
I do like how New Link has my hair.
Oh, he does. New Zelda. Oh, New Zelda is out.
And it is amazing.
It is amazing. Okay.
Alright, before we move on, I have a new segment. I'll probably only do this one time. And it's annoying clickbait of the week.
Yeah.
But it's what is it? This isn't a specific clickbait. This is a clickbait style that I've noticed for a little while now.
Okay.
With in the heading, it'll show you a story, and then just before it gets to the interesting part, you got to click on the thing. And then sometimes that story won't even be on the website when you click on it, or it'll be somewhere way down there, so you can't see the end of that little story or whatever.
Yep.
So annoying. Hate it.
So, I really love that there's now top comments in those articles or those feeds on Facebook where they'll do the news article and the first person in the comments says exactly what the thing is or the name of it is.
I do like that.
It's like, this game is the most interesting game of the year.
I don't know.
It was this.
There was that Facebook group, Stop Clickbait. And I don't know if they've been cancelled or whatever. I think it's still there. It just it doesn't show up on my feed ever.
It was
Oh no, it looks like they stopped doing it, 2019. But it would take a clickbaity headline or article or whatever, and it would just post a picture of that and then just explain what the actual thing was or whatever.
That's a fun page.
It was the best.
Well, maybe because Facebook guidelines are all about... Because you pay for advertising and everything.
Yeah, because it is in a way stealing their little... So I don't think that Facebook would remove that page because they're within their right to do that. But they can kind of bury
shadow ban.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a most annoying clickbait of the week?
No, it's just an example of the type of clickbait that's the most annoying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is that going to be a thing? Should we have brought something in?
No, doesn't have to be. It might be a thing again. We might have a clickbait of the week next week if I happen upon one. This might be a specific one. No, it might be a thing moving forward. We'll find a clickbaity thing, say what the clickbait is, and then we'll spoil the clickbait.
Well, okay.
Okay. I'll have a little... I'll make a stinger for it next time.
A stinger?
Yeah. A little jingle. Instead of clickbait of the week. We'll make a better one.
All right, let's get into the things.
The mountains.
Mountains.
So last week was dandruff and the death of Lifty Bridges.
Yes.
Now, hang on one moment. I should have been more prepared, but I am not. And the worst, we're actually tied on this one.
Oh,
Yes, we have the same amount of votes on Death of Lifty Bridges and on dandruff across the Patreon and the other thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll
How do we do it?
because it's a
paper,
delayed
scissors.
one.
But we're both delayed.
So it might be fine.
This will be the test. Okay, you ready?
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, I win anyway.
I could have changed it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, here we go. So, my mountain this week is having to defrost freezers in a frost-free freezer world.
What?
So like back in the day, freezers used to get frost. They would just build up a frost all around the edges, and you'd every couple of years or months or whatever, you'd have to empty out the freezer and wait for it to drip all over your floor. Nowadays, that doesn't happen. We've got all these frost-free freezers and stuff. But my freezer somehow, like, I noticed the back panel was pushing forward, and it starts misbehaving and doing weird things. And I looked it up. It turns out, like, behind that wall, you can get, like, a frost build-up. So I have to take out the back of my freezer and defrost that. But I've got so much food in my freezer. I've got heaps of frozen veg in there. I've got, like, 1 million leftover meals and stuff. So
What an incredibly shitty place to freeze.
Right?
The back, where all the electronics are, right?
Behind the back. Like, I've got to take this thing apart. So I've got to unplug it, obviously. I don't know if there's electronics behind that wall. I don't know what's behind there yet. I've got to take a picture when I do it, though. I'll upload that for our patrons. I'm sure they're excited to see the back of my freezer. But, like... That's a
shitty fridge.
We were done with this. Yeah, it's a Samsung. You'd think that'd be pretty good.
Yeah,
we were done with frost. We live in a frost-free society, but here I am.
Here we are.
Dealing with frost. I can't be the only one. I'm sure someone else out there has dealt with frost in their frost-free freezer.
Maybe you should. Maybe you hear me out.
Yeah.
Maybe you should light a firecracker. Put it in there and explode it off.
Maybe. But what I'm actually going to do...
a hairdryer?
I don't have one, but I'm just going to boil a kettle and probably sit the boiling water in there. But I'm going to take all the freezer stuff out and put it in the fridge, then unplug everything, and hopefully I can defrost it before all my frozen stuff thaws out. Otherwise, I'm just going to have a massive cook-off for the day and just cook all that stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of, I've got to sort my meat. Okay. We once had a fridge that the thermostat broke. And I'm not a big drinker, especially when I drink at home. I just don't drink unless it's a social thing.
Yeah.
So I had this can of Jim Beam that was sitting in the back corner of the fridge. And we had this thermostat issue. And so at the back of the fridge, it would actually freeze over.
Right.
And, like, after a while, that can just slowly disappeared.
Yeah.
Until we moved out, and then I had to, like, dig it out, and it was a lot of fun.
That's
I
right.
didn't drink it. Should have drank it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's having to defrost freezers in a
frost-free world?
Defrost freezers in a frost-free freezer world.
In a frost-free world. That's a Disney song right there. Could you? I can show you my freezer.
Ugh, that's my favourite name of every mountain ever, so it better be upvoted. Because I hope, even if you haven't had to deal with this problem, you can probably appreciate how awful it would be to have to empty your freezer out. Because all of us have stuff in the freezer. I'm sure you can all relate. And it's going to be bigger than whatever mountain Kevin's bringing in.
I've just worked out my next mountain next week. It's a good one.
Jeremy related, isn't it?
No.
Freezer related?
No. Just bear with me. Okay. Righto. So, my mountain this week, you're walking down the street, okay? I'll set the scene. You're walking down the street.
Yep.
And you're trying to get that fresh air. Oh, there's a cigarette smoker. Yuck. Forget that one.
Yeah.
Yuck, that's stinky. Keep walking. Oh, that's like cigarette with a punch. Smells like crap. Pot smokers.
Yes.
Pot smokers are my mountain because they are the worst.
Yeah.
Now, I want to be really straightforward with this one, purely because I know that we have some listeners that smoke pot.
Yeah.
Good on you. Have a good time. That's fun.
Yeah, losers.
But it's the ones who do it so often that it does cause a detriment to their well-being and their health.
And they're so self-righteous about it too, like as if it's the best thing in the world, and like they're saving the planet and like, you know.
It's like, I don't know what it is about like the rap community. Drugs and rappers. No, like I'm watching this show called Dave at the moment. It's got Andrew Santino. It's about this rapper called Lil Dicky.
Yeah.
And he's just a rapper. And there's this episode I watched last night where they're like, he's got this girlfriend and she only drinks and he smokes weed. And he smokes weed and just gets super high and has to go to bed. I'm like, that's really lame.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just such a normal thing. I mean, people just accept it as this normal thing, whereas like it was always this anti-drug thing. Anyway,
I find it so cringe when adults smoke. Like, I think kids probably they're just gonna try it. They're gonna have fun and experiment and whatever. But when adults continue to smoke it, it's like, what are you doing?
well, it's
Grow
the
up.
whole. It's not even that adults smoke it. It's the denial that smoking it as much as they do ongoing is causing long-term effects. So being a depressant,
Well, it's not just that, they also try
weed
and
is going-
encourage other people to get in on it. Like, they're always trying to sell people on it and trying to get more people into it and that kind of thing. It's like a religion.
yeah. I remember speaking to one of my friends, like, I've just got a bunch of stuff going on, bit down at the moment. This was like a few years ago. And the guy's like, oh man, that sucks. You know, I've got some weed if you need it, just to help with that, like, anxiety. I'm like, I don't want to be more low.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, it might spark my mood. But one, going through something isn't an excuse to go and put yourself on a crutch of an issue.
Yeah.
Like, don't burden yourself with more issues. Like, I've got this rule that if I'm ever in a really low spot, nothing. I won't do anything.
Yeah,
I won't even drink socially.
It's a real good rule.
Hey?
It's a real good rule.
Yeah, because why would you go and put a crutch on yourself to help you through that issue?
You're developing extra problems.
Yeah, that's how addiction starts.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair though, you have to eat, and I probably eat worse when I'm low.
Yeah.
And that's an addiction.
Yeah.
Anyway, but weed, the people who smoke weed and deny that there's anything wrong with it are generally the people who end up with these like personality, what do they call it? It's It's not bipolar.
Seth Rogan.
BPD. Seth Roganism. What tough, strong men in UFC rings.
Oh, no, not Seth. That's not Seth Rogan. That's Joe Rogan,
No,
you dummy.
That is Joe Rogan. Who's Seth Rogan? Oh, Seth Rogan. Yeah, we hate
the
him.
loser stoner. He's the worst. His whole comedy is, I smoke weed. Isn't that funny, guys?
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah,
worst.
that's the culture I'm talking about, though. They're the guys who are just so like, yeah, let's get high.
The ones that are obsessed
It's not
with
cool.
Hitler's birthday.
Well, 420. Gotcha. That's funny. Anyway,
Nah.
so I actually don't have an issue with the people who once every 3 to 6 months goes to a party, someone brings it out, go for it. I don't do it. I hate the smell. I don't like being high. Not into it.
No.
But it's the people who do it ongoing, and then that becomes so natural. They're like, I want to try shrooms.
Yeah.
I want to try this drug. Cocaine looks fun. Like, it's just this simple line of progression it's that gateway drug that,
Yeah.
right? It's just,
Yeah.
but it's that denial that there's anything wrong with that,
Yeah.
despite it ruins homes, ruins lives, causes
It
crime.
makes you a loser.
Well,
It ruins your personality because then all you talk about is weed all the time.
well, if you think about all the people who are like, actually, big one, Travis Barker. So I'm reading Travis Barker's book, The Drummer of Blink-182, and in that he talks about how he was addicted to pills, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, as a teenager, he grew up, he started like smoking weed and all of that. But he was taking so many pills just because he had a fear of flying that he'd take pills before he got on the flight, and then he'd
Yeah.
land, and that'd be that. Crazy though, he ended up in a plane crash. So insane. Biggest fear, and he ends up getting involved in it. Anyway, so he took all these pills, which then it like messes with the calcium levels in your body. So he'd be drumming and he'd going really hard, and he broke his wrist just from drumming because the calcium deficiency was so bad that it snapped his wrist
Yeah, right.
from drumming.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, stoners are the worst.
Yeah.
Absolute worst. Now, there was a thing I meant to bring in as news,
Yeah. Okay.
but we forgot.
Okay.
So, we can bring that at the end, okay?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to say about the pot smokers? They're cringy losers who should just take up drinking.
Just stop.
Just drink yourself into a hole instead.
Just get away from things like that. Just
Yeah.
eat more.
Yeah,
Exercise.
become fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe do a healthy thing instead.
Endorphins are a way more fun drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
natural.
So we're not going to go through all of these,
Okay.
okay? But
Yep.
we can go through a bunch of them because it's a pretty interesting track listing. I think it could be an album. It could be awful. I don't know. I'm no expert on these things. But there's 30 songs on this album coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, some of them originals, some of them covers with just a ridiculous number of guests and people. A lot of them I don't know, but anyway,
Who
like
is
so they're
this
doing.
album?
I'm going to tell you after we go through it a bit. See how excited you are first.
Okay.
So Every Breath You Take, featuring Sting.
Rockstar. Special guest Richie Sambora. I don't know who that
Yeah.
is.
Long As I Can See the Light, featuring John Fogerty.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a Creedence song. It's got the Kid Rock on one of them. I Want You Back, featuring Steven Tyler.
Either or, featuring Kid Rock.
What has rock and roll ever done for you, featuring Stevie Nicks?
Wrecking Ball,
Purple
Miley
Rain.
Cyrus.
Purple Rain.
You know why they didn't put a feature on
Baby, I
that?
Love You, Peter Frampton. What?
You know why they didn't put a feature on that?
On which? On
On
who?
Purple Rain?
Because they're just doing it on their own.
Artist formerly known as... They didn't know what to name him. Anyway, he's dead.
Maybe. I'm thinking of a different... I was thinking of a Hendrix song. Isn't Purple Rain that Hendrix one?
A rain running through my veins.
Yeah. That's Jimi Hendrix.
Maybe. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Prince.
Yeah.
Isn't that Purple
Can't
Rain?
Get No Satisfaction featuring Pink.
Okay.
And
What?
Brandi
What?
Carlile.
Okay.
Wait.
Let It Be. Woo.
Let It Be. Yeah, with John Lennon.
Freebird.
Freebird, yeah. That's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, Paul McCartney, not John Lennon, obviously.
Obviously. Okay. All right.
But yeah, that'd be good. Mick Fleetwood on Let It Be as well.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Cool.
Yeah.
What is it?
This is Dolly Parton's upcoming album.
Dolly Parton.
It's been the talk of the music world for quite a while now, 'cause she's been working on it for ages. The album's called Rockstar.
Well,
And it could be a very cool album. I mean,
Well-
I don't like her, but they've got some pretty neat guests on there.
well, yeah, they're great guests. What?
And some great songs.
I don't think I've ever listened to a Dolly Parton.
You would have. You'd know them if you heard them. I've never went out of my way to listen to it. Like Jolene.
Is that Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
think.
okay. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Surely not. All right, I'm going to answer that question right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Dolly Parton. The only thing I know about Dolly Parton is
She sings Jolene.
Shania Twain is a big fan.
Yeah. She's actually a very funny person in interviews and stuff.
Is she?
Yeah.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's funny.
Oi, one of her singles is already out. World on Fire. Everybody check that out. Why did you bring in this news, Jeremy?
Because it's an amazing track listing.
You brought in Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
And-
but... And all of the guests. I brought in Paul McCartney. I brought in Ringo Starr.
There's
I
Elton
brought
John
in
in
Mick
there.
Fleetwood.
Elton
I brought in
John.
Elton John.
Okay, alright. Great. Dolly Parton featuring a bunch of people. Good.
You're going to listen to it.
I'll probably give it a go. I'm going to listen to World on
And-
Fire, that's for sure.
Apparently, the bonus track is going to be a Children of Bodom song.
No.
No. Living Dead beat.
Okay.
How good would that be, though?
I don't know if I'd listen to it once just to see how Dolly Parton does with metal, but I don't care.
This is, it'll be an interesting YouTube description.
Oh, that's why.
No, that's not just why. I just thought it was,
So, you put all of these names in for the algorithm. You're like, hey,
I
people
didn't,
like
but
Elton
that's-
John.
I thought about that later.
Oh, man, Dolly Parton's getting some hits.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay,
Bye,
so
Hungries.
no, vote up your mountains at r/mountainmolehill on Reddit, or jump on the Patreon and you can vote there. Ours were Pot Smokers and
Oh, hang on. It was having to refrost. It's a hard one. Having to defrost freezers in a frost-free freezer world.
that's a
Can you
great
say
name.
it?
Having to defrost freezer in a frost-free freezer world. Did I say it?
Pretty good, but you said freezer.
Fuck. Okay. All right. Bye,
Okay.
Hungries.
Bye.
We've been dads. Oh, you
We've been
wanker.
dads.
He's already gone.
Alright, let's get this show on the road. Hi, Hungries.
Alright. We're dads.
This is the Dad vs.
Nah,
Dad
start
podcast.
again.
Why?
Start again.
Pretty good.
Because you were so... it's like talking to a robot. You're so down. Like, you gotta... Big up. Big up.
Sleepy. Hi, Hungries.
I'm all...
You
We're
ruined it.
dads.
You interrupt.
I didn't.
You did.
It's just really
You were
slow.
talking while I was doing the thing. Okay. Hi, Hungries.
We're
This
dads.
is Dad vs. Dad podcast.